This video is part of a series about open source business models for circular economy produced in the context of the Open Source Circular Economy Days. You can find all videos and detailed written and visual resources for the video by following one of these links. There you might find also an updated version of the video. Hi, I'm Lars Zimmermann. I'm an artist and economist and one of the founders of the Open Source Circular Economy Days. This is the first video in a video series about open source business models for circular economy, which is one of the questions of the Open Source Circular Economy Days. What is the Open Source Circular Economy Days? The Open Source Circular Economy Days, or in short the OSCEdays, is a global community, event and organization to support the building of a sustainable circular economy by using and exploring the collaboration methodology of open source. For this video series here, you can find several resources like the full script, images, links and a tool I will talk about by following one of the links shown at the beginning of this video. In the first video here, I will introduce you to the core idea of the Open Source Circular Economy Days and also a little bit to open source. Okay, let's start. What is the core idea of the OSCEdays? When we talk about a circular economy, we talk about the idea of an economy that works without waste. It is different from our current linear economy, where we take resources, make products and then throw them away as garbage. In the circular economy, everything is designed and organized in a way that our products can be repaired, reused, refurbished and fully recycled. We save resources because the materials in our products are the resource base for future products of the same quality. The circular economy works in evolving symbiosis with our biosphere, protecting it and growing its potentials. But when we take this idea and compare it with the world today, it quickly becomes clear that almost everything in our current economy has to change for this. And not just the designs of our products and services, but also the collaboration methods we use to make and distribute them. Many people in circular economy often talk about transparency. We need a lot more transparency to make our economy circular. But the next minute they start to talk about trading secrets and the need to hide knowledge in today's economy. So transparency isn't really an option, so no circular economy. And here's where open source comes in. Because in open source we have transparency. It is transparent how things are made. And there are also a number of successful businesses and products that are successful because, not despite, they are open. What can the circular economy learn and adapt from this? This is the question. So, what is open source? Last year on a weekend, Sam Muirhead and I did a video on this. You can find the link to this video in the resources. But to sum it up, it basically means to have building plans in the public. It is openly visible how things work and how to make them work. Things are shared to enable others to study, use, modify, make and distribute them, also commercially. In the world of software, open source is very successful in many areas, and areas outside of software are also catching up. Open source has a clear definition, a growing community and a good number of successful businesses. But there are also misconceptions out there about open source, like it's all DIY, do it yourself, or everything is for free. It's not. On the contrary, in software, open source is foremost a collaboration method between experts and professionals that are paid for their work. So, not DIY and not for free. And open source really made and makes a difference for our economy and in this world. The open source software Linux is probably the most important and most used software in today's world. Wherever you are watching this right now, it is pretty likely that very close to you is one or more devices running Linux. Like this, for example, my Android phone or my old MP3 player. The whole web is based in its critical infrastructure on open source. And also big companies with incredibly sophisticated software like Facebook, for example, would not be possible to this extent without open source. There is open source everywhere in Facebook. Without open source, the web would probably be where it was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15. So, can we take this methodology to enable the building of a circular economy? to make quicker progress with it, or maybe to make it possible at all? This is what the Open Source Circular Economy Days are for, to figure out with the global community. And one of the riddles we have to solve is business models. What are working open source business models for circular economy? It's true, bringing open source to new areas is often not trivial. You need to be creative, because open source business models is not what we are taught around every corner in our present world. So in this video series, I like to share a little bit of my perspectives on open source business models. The goal here is not to give an exhaustive overview. It is to seed some ideas, insights and clues into your head to enable you to engage in your own creative process. In the next two videos, number 2 and number 3, I will share some core ideas and examples I want you to be aware of. And starting with video number 4, I will present you a tool called the Open Platform Design Flowchart. This tool is supposed to help you to understand and ask some key questions when designing an open source business. Okay, see you in the next videos, and make sure to check the resources for this and also the other videos by following one of these links.